Hello, welcome to lesson 4. We have moved on from some basic structure of Python, that's variables and how they are initialized, and the way they also work with strings. Now let's move on arithmetic operators. Let's create a new file and name it file2.py and open it in the terminal. So we'll quickly go to our code editor, create a new file, file2.py. Now when we speak about arithmetic operators in Python, there are a couple of them that is used in running our codes, and some of them are the normal ones we use in mathematics. So the plus symbol is used for addition, minus symbol is used for subtraction, the asterisk is used for multiplication, we use the forward slash for division, and then the percentage is used for modulo, which is what? A remainder. So those are what we are going to practice. Most of us already know how arithmetic operators work, but in this lesson we are going to learn how it applies or it relates to variables. So let's say you have two friends, one is 15 years and the other is 18 years. So let's create two variables, age 1 and age 2. So age 1, let's store 15, and then age 2, let's store 18. Now I want to apply certain arithmetic operators to these our variables. So let's print the addition of what? Age 1 and age 2. So it becomes age 1 plus age 2 to get the addition. I want us to do, or let's print 1. Save this file and do the modulo later. So the print Python and followed by the file name, which is file2.py. Now it will bring you all the results of the arithmetic operation we've done above here. So the first one, which is 33, is age 1 and age 2, 15 plus 18. The second one is -3, which is what? 15 minus 18. The third one is 3, positive 3. The multiplication is what? 270. Now multiplication and addition are commutative, so irrespective of the position of the operand you still get the same answer. That's why you're getting 270. Now this is the division, and then the opposite, age 2 and age 1, is this. Now let's do the modulo, which is the remainder. So let's print age 1 modulo age 2. This one will give you the, let me reverse it also. Let's save this one and execute the file in our terminal. We get the first one, which is what? Age 1 modulo age 2 as 15. The age 2 divided by age 1, the result will be 1 and the remainder will be 3. In this case, when 18 is dividing 15, the answer will be 0, remainder 15. So it is only showing you the remainder of the division. That's what it shows you. Alright, now that we are done with arithmetic operators, let's move to strings. We've spoken about strings already, but let's do some small practice. We can use the addition to concatenate. So let's say I have first name, I have last name, and I want to concatenate them. Now you can also use it to multiply a string by an integer. So let's say I want to print hello Python a couple of times. I'll just write hello Python multiplied by, so asterisk, and any number I want it to multiply up to. And then division and modulo does not work with strings. Same with subtraction. You cannot subtract two different strings what you can do is to what? To add a string to a different string, or you can multiply a string with an integer. Now I want us to discuss one neat feature. So let's store a new variable called sentence, and let's write just any set of string. Now this is a string I've stored in a variable called sentence. Now if I only want my name only from the string above, there is something called indexing. In programming, indexing works very well. Every character has an index, kind of index number, and instead of the counting number 1, 2, 3, 4, in this Sewuni, x is not 1, x is 0. So the indexing starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 up to the last character in a string. So they all have their index number. So from s, this particular s in the Sewuni, up to this I in the Sewuni, I have 6 characters here. That means that the I is what? Has an index of 5, and the x has an index of 0. So now I want to call only the s. What do I do? So if I want to print only the s, I'll bring a bracket this way, and in the bracket I'll call the name of the variable, so sentence, and I'll bring a square bracket and indicate the index number of the letter or the character I want. I just save this one. I get Sewuni. Let me comment this out. Alright, indexing. Okay, so when I want, let's say, the very first character, what I do is I bring the print command, bring the name of the variable, and indicate the index of the character I want to call out. So in this case, I want the character at an index what? 0, and we all know from this one that from the string that the first character is what? S. So let's try and see if we can get our s. So I try to view the file here, and I have my s straightforward. I have my s straightforward. So if I want from the first one to the 6th character, I'll bring colon 6, save the file, come to my terminal, execute, and then boom, I have all Sewuni. For instance, if I want to take certain characters at the back, what I do is -3 simply means I take the last 3 characters off. Take the last 3 characters off. Now it brings Sewuni is playing tenny, and it has taken the last 3 characters off. If one of the last characters to be off, is the same thing. You can take every string and call out any segment from it. Thank you very much. This will be the end of our 4th lesson. Hope to see you in our 5th lesson.